Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Tasmania's largest lamb abattoir is tonight facing closure over allegations of animal cruelty caught on camera. The regulator threatening to strip the facility's export licence, but sanctions would come at the cost of hundreds of jobs and devastate local farmers. And a warning some vision in the following story is confronting.
Tasmanian Quality Meats is a multi-award winner for its lamb, but what appears to happen behind closed doors at the abattoir near Cressy, south of Launceston, will ruin your appetite. Activists from the Farm Transparency Project breaking into the facility in August to install hidden cameras. Most of the vision is too confronting to air.
These tiny, innocent, vulnerable beings being basically dragged and thrown and shoved and beaten.
The abattoir's boss today sticking to the script.
We've taken immediate and significant actions, including appointing an animal welfare officer, increasing quality assurance monitoring, retrained all of our employees on their animal welfare obligations, and we've introduced a zero tolerance policy. One offence, you're fired.
But the people in these videos are still working for the company. The vision was handed to the Federal Agriculture Department, which is threatening to strip TQM's export licence over numerous breaches of animal welfare rules.
Which would absolutely be catastrophic to the industry, to our farmers, to our employees. If you take our export licence, it's not going to punish TQM, it's going to punish everyone around us.
I was part of investigating this very same facility 7 years ago. Nothing has changed in that time, it's just gotten worse.
The company, which employs 200 people, was given 7 days to respond to a show cause notice which expired today. We asked the department whether a decision has been reached, telling us it wouldn't be appropriate to comment. There are more than 60,000 Tasmanian sheep booked in to be processed at TQM over just the next 2 months. There isn't capacity to send them elsewhere, which could spell more animal welfare concerns should the facility shut down.
We all know there's a really dry season on us now. There's a shortage of feed already. The end result for many of those animals is that it will be uneconomical to get them to the mainland, so they'll need to be euthanised.
Vision from 4 other Tasmanian meatworks has also been handed over to authorities.
Goodness gracious, it's 2023. I mean, this shouldn't be happening full stop. We are happy to support the investigation. However, there shouldn't be any punitive measures taken until that investigation is finished.
Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
The immediate future of Justice Gregory Geeson could now be determined on Tuesday when Attorney General Guy Barnett will move a motion in both houses of Parliament calling on the Governor to suspend the Supreme Court judge. Justice Geeson is on voluntary leave after being charged with common assault and emotional abuse, and under current legislation cannot be stood down.
The issue is that there's nothing to disallow Judge Geeson from returning to work, sitting on matters and acting as a judge.
While Labor has welcomed the decision, the Law Society has not, saying it takes away the ability to claim legal professional privilege. The Greens have slammed the state government, saying targets aren't being met for children in out-of-home care. They claim government figures show there are 45 vacancies in the child safety system, equalling 1 in 5 staff, while less than a quarter of children who are meant to be checked on each week are being visited on time.
Clearly a wake-up call for government, and more needs to be done to invest in out-of-home care, invest in positions to look after these children.
We've delivered a 40% increase in funding support since we've come to government in 2014 in this space. Of course, there's more work to do, and that's exactly what the government's committed to doing.
The revelations come after the government was grilled in Parliament this week over its response to the Commission of Inquiry into Sex Abuse. A parliamentary inquiry into the planned Macquarie Point redevelopment has heard nearby businesses are frustrated about the stadium's footprint. It comes as the future of local football became clearer, with Brighton securing its place in southern Tasmania's new Football League.
5 years ago, Brighton faced having their wings clipped.
With just 4 teams in the juniors, we didn't have a senior team. We put a lot of things in place.
From the brink of extinction, the Robins will soar into Tasmania's footy elite, joining Hobart's 5 TSL clubs in an SFL Premier Division from 2025. The club relishing the chance to develop the stars of a future AFL team.
We don't want to lose kids from the Brighton community to other teams to play at the highest level. We want to give them that opportunity here.
League officials say Brighton's bid kicks goals for the competition.
You look at their facilities, you look at the club leadership, you look at their strategic plan, they've rebuilt their finances.
The future of Launceston's Big Two also moving forward. AFL Tasmania says applications for a Northern Premier competition are due next week.
We're hoping to make a decision on who will be in the team or in the Premier League competition by the start of the 2024 season.
The more controversial piece of the puzzle also discussed today. Regatta organisers and federal groups sharing their frustration about consultation over Macquarie Point Stadium.
In general terms, the lack of consultation before announcements have been made.
We hadn't been consulted. We were simply told that we were going to lose the foreshore to social housing.
Are the neighbours concerned about the stadium's impact on them?
The uniqueness of the waterfront is one of the drivers in conferences coming to us to Tasmania. We're keen to establish a process to work through these issues.
There isn't enough distance to attenuate the sound, so what hits the concert hall is roughly the same as what comes out of the roof.
The Treasurer says the government is confident everyone will benefit.
It unlocks the opportunity for urban renewal and redevelopment at a very disused industrial site.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Maternity services across the state's northwest have successfully transferred back into public hands for the first time since 2016. It comes after harrowing accounts of giving birth at the private facility were made public earlier this year.
Blissfully unaware of all the fuss, little Carson Radford might not know it, but he's part of a major change to maternity services at the Northwest Regional Hospital.
It hasn't been easy, lots of challenges, and from healthy care over to the Tasmanian health system.
Bundles of joy like Carson are now being welcomed and treated in our public system. 11 babies have been born at the Northwest Regional since Monday's transition.
The place is humming and it's a beautiful, caring environment.
The private system took over inpatient birthing at the hospital in 2016, making it difficult to manage care of mums and bubs. This week's move bringing all maternity services back under a single umbrella.
I think there's a continuity that they perhaps didn't have before. Best efforts always to make sure that that happened, but now that it's in the one service, all of the one system, everything's together.
The state government acting to transition the service back into Tasmanian hands a year ahead of schedule, following a litany of complaints. In February, mums who had given birth at the private hospital described the experience as intrusive, violating and invasive, while the Australian Medical Association labelled the situation for public patients a medical emergency.
The government has acted on the independent report of 2021 in terms of management, quality and safety.
It's hoped the move will help boost staffing levels. 38 registered nurses and midwives, along with 6 ward support officers, have moved across from the private hospital.
We do have enough midwives as of today. There is obviously a national shortage of midwives.
A step to delivering better care for Northwest families. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
Hobart respects all. That's the theme of Phase 2 of a council campaign launched in preparation for Human Rights Day on Sunday. Dozens of people showed their support for the initiative, designed to celebrate diversity and inclusivity, with interactive performances and activities to mark the occasion.
Tasmania does not have a Human Rights Act, so many of the rights for accommodation, the rights to education, the right to freedom of movement, a lot of those things are just simply not protected by law.
Our vision for the future is where everybody feels valued, heard and respected.
The campaign will also feature at the Taste of Summer's Free Community Day.
The Canes need to stay in the moment this season. That's the advice from one of their stars. Fresh off the T20 series in India, Tim David was having a hit alongside new import Chris Jordan at an intra-club match. One of their final hit-outs ahead of Monday's opening clash against the Sixers in Launceston. Despite a shortened competition, both players aren't looking too far into the future.
We're pretty focused on what we can control this year, so we've got the talent in this group, and if we play our best, then we're not too worried about what the opposition have.
I'm taking one day at a time, one game at a time, and I'm more or less just trying to gel into the outfit and fit into the outfit as quickly as possible.
Today's match can be seen here on 7 Tasmania straight after the news.
Good evening. Interesting day around the state today. 22 was the top in Hobart. Launceston posted 23, Devonport 20 and Burnie 19 degrees. King Island found a warm pool of air and hit 29 degrees. Butler's Gorge our low with just 2. Flinders Island and Campania 27, Friendly Beaches and Ooze 25, Grove 24, Smithton 22 and Strawn 21. A few isolated storms today along with a light shower or two with these thick cloud bands over Tasmania and even thicker to the southwest of the state. More thunderstorms are over parts of the NT, eastern WA and southeastern Australia with that cloud band troubling them as well. Tomorrow, severe tropical cyclone Jasper sits over the Coral Sea. A trough extends across most of the country. Winds south-southwesterly at 15 to 25 knots, tending east to southeasterly later in the day over eastern waters. Strong wind warning just for a small patch of coastline between Sandy Cape and Stanley. Saturday for Hobart, a shower or two clearing, 60% chance of rain, 18 the top, 17 for Medina and Oatlands with a shower or two. Launceston 23, a shower or two, late shower for Devonport 23 as well and 13 the high for Lyreweenie. Burnie expecting 19 with a late shower, a shower for Strawn 17. A windy day for Marrawar as well and 17 the high. 19 for St Helens, Swansea 18 and Orford 17, all with a shower or two down that east coast. On Sunday a fine partly cloudy day, a shower possible through Bass Strait. Another shower over Flinders on Monday but fine and mostly sunny for the rest of the state. And on Tuesday fine and sunny, Hobart 25, Launceston 31. Plus 30 on the way for Perth as well. Heavy falls of rain heading to Adelaide and a top and a drop down to 17 degrees for them. Wet for Melbourne, 37 in Canberra ahead of a late cool change, 40 the high for Sydney and a partly cloudy 30 in Brisbane. Cloudy in Hobart right now, 17, showery in Launceston, 22 and 19 right now in Devonport. Kim, you have a great weekend. Weird weather, just the same. I'm off to the bank to deposit all that pay I've been getting. You've been telling everyone.
You should do that and share it with your colleagues. That is all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everyone.